sound of a ticking clock, followed by a sudden, sharp, revolutionary song snippet that fades into the background. Upbeat, yet thoughtful music begins. Ever heard a name that sounds like a revolution? A name that echoes through the halls of history. Not as a whisper, but as a thunderous roar. Today, we're talking about one such name. Bhagat Singh. But this isn't just a history lesson. This is the story of a young man who lived, laughed, loved, and ultimately laid down his life for an idea. An idea called freedom. Born in 1907 in British India, in what is now Pakistan, Bhagat wasn't born into an ordinary family. Revolution was in his blood. His father and uncles were all deeply involved in the freedom struggle. Imagine being a kid, and instead of bedtime stories about fairy tale, you're hearing tales of resistance, of fighting for your homeland. One famous story goes that as a small boy, Bhagat was found in a field, trying to sew guns. When asked what he was doing, he replied, "I'm growing guns, so we can drive the British out." That was the fire that burned within him, right from the very beginning. As he grew up, this fire only intensified. He was a voracious reader, devouring books on socialism, revolution, and anarchism from around the world. He wasn't just a hot-headed rebel, he was an intellectual, a thinker. He understood that true freedom wasn't just about kicking the British out. It was about creating a new India, a secular, socialist India where every single person, regardless of caste or creed, was truly free and equal. The turning point, the moment that pushed him from a thinker to an actor on the grand stage of history, was the Jallianwala Bagh massacre in 1919. A 12-year-old Bhagat Singh bunked school and walked miles to the site. He saw the blood-stained walls, the bullet holes, and the well where so many had jumped to their deaths. He reportedly collected a handful of blood-soaked earth in a bottle, a grim, sacred promise to himself that this injustice would not be forgotten. Fast forward to 1928. The British government sent a Simon Commission to India, but it had no Indian members. The people protested, chanting, "Simon, go back." During one such peaceful protest, the beloved leader Lala Lajpat Rai was brutally beaten by the police and later died from his injuries. This was the last straw for Bhagat Singh and his comrades, including Sukhdev and Raj. They vowed revenge. Their target was the police superintendent, James Scott, who ordered the attack. But in a case of mistaken identity, they assassinated another police officer, John Saunders. They had crossed a line. They were now fugitives, but hiding wasn't their style. Bhagat Singh believed you had to make the deaf hear. And how do you do that? You make a loud noise. Sound of a low, distant, non-threatening explosion, like a firecracker. In 1929, Bhagat Singh and his associate Batuks walked into the Central Legislative Assembly in Delhi. They threw 2 low-intensity bombs into the empty corridors, carefully ensuring no one would be hurt. As smoke filled the hall, they didn't run. They stood their ground, showering the chamber with pamphlets and shouting their iconic slogan, "Long live the revolution." Their goal was never to kill, but to be arrested. They wanted a platform, a courtroom that they could turn into a stage to broadcast their ideas of freedom to the entire nation. And they succeeded. During their trial, Bhagat Singh's powerful speeches and writings from prison electrified the youth of India. He wasn't just a terrorist as the British painted him. He was a visionary. He went on a hunger strike for 116 days, not for his own release, but for better conditions for all political prisoners. He became a symbol of defiance, courage, and selfless sacrifice. But the British Empire needed to make an example of him. On March 23, 1931, Bhagat Singh, along with his comrades Rajaru and Sukhdev, were executed. He was only 23 years old. Legend says they walked to the gallows with smiles on their faces, chanting, they embraced death like a long-lost lover, because they knew their sacrifice would ignite the flames of revolution in millions of other hearts. Bhagat Singh's life was tragically short, but his legacy is eternal. He reminds us that freedom isn't just a political state, it's a state of mind. It's the courage to question, the strength to dissent, and the passion to fight for a better world. He wasn't just a martyr. He was, and is, an inspiration. A thunderous roar that will never, ever fade. Music swells and then fades out.